All right, what is going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well, and thanks as always for watching. I really do appreciate it. What are we checking out today? Well, it's here, and it's the mini version of the Wampler Ego 76 compressor. This is based on the iconic 1176 FET style peak limiter, which is still kind of industry standard. They just sound amazing. Just that circuit sounds great. This is the mini version of the 76. It's got all the same great sounds. The thing that's really cool about it is the fact that if you did want to use this as an always on, and because it is kind of such a tone enhancer, this size is really cool because you could literally set it the way you want it. It could go underneath the pedal board. It could easily fit in a drawer, or obviously if you're just lacking for space on your pedal board, pedals like this can make a big difference, especially if you're using right angle connectors. And now there's so many super flat ones on the market that really do work nicely. Let's get into what's on top of it. It is or does allow for parallel compression. So you have a blend control that allows you to blend your clean along with the compressor. So when the blend control's all the way to the left, that's basically no compression. As you keep turning it to the right, you're going to be blending in compression in parallel, which is really cool. That type of circuit, at least for me, I really appreciate. As a guy that doesn't really use compressors that much, but when I need one, I really need one, and that's why I have them. And whenever there's a blend control, it's not only the sonics of it, but it's also just how it ends up feeling is really cool. We'll get into how that sounds in the demo. On the other side of that, you have your comp potentiometer. So think of that as like the ratio control on an 1176, counterclockwise less, obviously to the right, or clockwise more. We'll listen to that in the demo. The third potentiometer in the center is just your level. So that's going to be your overall output. That correlates nicely with the blend control, at least in my opinion. I'll get into it in the demo as to how I use those two controls together. You've got two 3-way mini toggles. The one on the left is for your attack. So you can choose how quickly or slowly you want that compressor to kick in. To the left is going to be the fastest. Center is actually going to be the slowest attack. And then all the way to the right will be medium attack. And then, of course, on the other side of that is your release. Same thing. To the left, it's going to release quicker. It's going to let go quicker. In the center, it's going to be the slowest release. And then to the right, it'll be around the medium release. And a lot of it is tone, but once again, and I'll get into it in the demo, a lot of that is, once again, what are you playing and how do you want it to feel? That's where attack and release is really, really important. Let's check this thing out. It is the Wampler Mini Ego 76 compressor. All right then, let's check this thing out. Here's just the guitar with nothing. Well, it's into an amplifier. And here's the Ego 76 Mini. Now, actually, I had it dialed with a little bit quicker release and actually more level because I wanted it to push the amp a little bit harder. Not that much. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the fact that when I write something that's funky, I can barely play it. That gives you an idea of how I had this dialed. I did, and it's one of the things I like about this circuit is between the level and that blend control, you can get the compression and the feel you want, but it's also nice to be able to use it as kind of a tone enhancer. And in this case, you know, I've got my Rev D40 back there dialed real clean, but I was still able to hit the amp a little bit harder and get a little bit of, we'll just call it dirt on it. I just wanted it to be a little more kind of angry sounding, but at the same time, it was really easy to just have it be super tight compression and dead clean just by, you know, manipulating the level control. I mean, you can see right now I don't have the blend all the way up, so there is some clean happening there. So that's above unity. So that's basically unison about right there. As I push that just a little bit, it's starting to hit the amp a little bit harder, which is giving me that amount of grit. So let's do this. I'm going to try and stay close to unity as far as not pushing the amp. Let's try starting with the blend control. So all the way up, that's going to be all compression in the circuit. Nothing as far as the clean is being blended in. In that case, I can balance it by turning up the level. Do a little bit less compression. Now, as I start moving the other way, now we're blending the clean in. So to keep it closer to unity, so we're not boosting or cutting. If I go all the way counterclockwise, basically there's no compression. So it's nice to be able to just kind of blend in. A lot of times I don't want, like maybe an MXR or something. Those are great. I'm not saying they're not great, but sometimes I really do want to have it kind of blended into my clean. But if I need it to be all compression, it's there, which is great. I like the blend about right there, and then I kind of balance it with my level control. So these two controls work obviously hand in hand. Now the amount of compression, that's this control here, it's essentially like using the ratio on an 1176. So if I go all the way, and right now I've got it on the fastest attack and release. So if I turn the compression all the way down, and I've got the blend all the way up so we can just hear the circuit. So that's a lot of squish. Obviously, you can either turn down the blend unless you want it to be that much squishy squish. And you can even hear it with that much compression, it'll bring out the backstring on my headstock. That's how a compressor works, especially when you have that much compression going on. But that's what's going on there. Quite a bit of range. You should be able to dial in pretty much whatever you need with that. I mean, I like it a little bit taller, but then I blend out, and by taller I mean more compression, and then I just kind of blend clean back into it. Okay, makes sense? I hope it does. I'm not sure I'm making sense. Let's check out the attack and release. This isn't something you're necessarily going to hear. To a degree you will, but it's more how it feels. I tend to like a faster to a medium attack, but sometimes I do want a slow release. In this case, I'll put the release, let's go the medium as far as release setting, and we'll just check out the attack. So if I'm playing something like that, I want the attack to be pretty immediate because that's kind of a notey part. I want a really quick attack. If I go to the center, which would be the slowest attack, it's not grabbing the note quick enough. So I'm sure you can hear that. If I go to the fastest setting, that was the slowest attack. There it is. Because I wanted to catch the note quicker. I very seldomly will use that slow of an attack. If anything, I'll go the other way to kind of that medium attack. That feels pretty good. I would probably add a little more compression, blend it in as well as the actual compression setting. So that feels good, but it sounds a little bit more open compared to this attack, which is way more apparent. But that feels really good, especially for me where I'm not that great a funk player. It just helps things sound a little more articulate and feel better. But that's what's going on with the attack side. I'm going to go ahead and leave it where it is, fastest attack, and we'll check out the release. I'll see if I can give you guys an example. Okay, so right now this is the fastest release. And I'll go ahead and run all compression. See how quick it's letting go? Now, if I go the other way, and this is a lot of compression, but I'm doing it on purpose so that hopefully you guys can hear what's going on. This is the medium release. Doesn't want to let go. And it also kind of changes how the circuit feels, the attack. This is the slowest release. Now, I personally like, on the release side, I tend to like a medium release, but it just depends on what I'm doing. Like I said, if something I'm playing is really notey, or maybe I'm using the Telecaster for like a country part, I'm going to want fast attack, fast release. But in general, if I couldn't choose, I would probably go for that medium release. The reason you'd use a slower release would be for sustain. So this type of thing. And then we can make that more apparent. And, you know, it'll obviously kind of pulse out. If you're running just all compression, you'll hear it kind of pulse out. But that's where the blend comes in really handy, because you can have some of that clean still in there. And it sustains longer and gives you that kind of, you know, that compressor sustain kind of feel thing. The noise you were hearing, these are not noiseless pickups. So if I go to neck position, especially with a bunch of compression on right now, that's why you're going to hear that. But that's what's going on with the release side. Like I said, I pretty much, I like it right around here. It just, to me, it feels really good. And then if I just want to manipulate beyond that, it's going to be really how I blend, use the blend control and the level control. All right, that is the Wampler Mini Ego 76 compressor. As I always say, say, go to the website and check things out there, find out all the technical specs. And as always, I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you on the next one.